Hello guys, we are back in Tutorial Zoo and you can see that the people are starting to use our awesome viewing platforms. We even got some protesters, so fun all the way, right? But today we are gonna take a look at the staff facilities, staff and work zone. So let's pause the game and I think it's the best way is to start with looking at the facilities itself to tell you what they are about, what they do. So if you open the facilities and you go to staff facilities, you can have them all and they are pretty essential to the game, so we need to pay attention to that. Let's start with the keeper hut maybe. So the keeper hut is a place where the keepers are preparing the food for the animals and such stuff. So you basically need a keeper hut if you want to take care of your animals. If you open the facilities, you could see that there is some information in there. This simple keeper hut can have only one keeper in it, so the capacity is right now full. So make sure you have enough keeper hut capacity to be able to prepare meal for all your animals. It's inefficient, well, because the stuff just have entered and it's not doing anything right now. The scenery rating basically tells us how much negative impact it has on the guests. You can see that if you open a heat map, and it's right here, negative impact on guests, and this basically means that your guests don't like to see your staff facilities, and they might get angry if they do walk into the proximity of your staff facility. So make sure you have them far enough from the actual guest's path. If you put some walls and some trees and stuff around it, you can reduce the negative area down to the 50% and increase the scenery rating. Obviously, the higher scenery rating, the better the view for the guests, and then they don't complain. So that's the keeper hut. I suggest you have at least one keeper hut for each habitat, or if you don't want to spam those small staff facilities around your habitats, I do, because that means that the keepers have to walk very short way from the habitat to the keeper hut. But you can use the larger version, which I think can take, well, let's just place one here because we have already 4 habitats and we might actually need it. And let's take a look. This big keeper hut can take capacity 6 keepers, so we can have just this one for all 4 habitats we have. That is good. And we can take a look at the next one. I would like to show you a staff room maybe, because that's also very essential facilities. When the staff is not doing anything, they like to go to a coffee, to have a chat, just hang out in a staff room. So this one has capacity of 4, the scenery rating, efficiency, that's all pretty much the same, but there is one more thing to the staff rooms. The perks. You can pay for certain perks to improve your staff, such as healthcare or making them learn better. You can select just one, so select carefully and also mind that it costs some money. Alright. The next one would be trade center. Trade center, basically you need to put this facility down in order to buy animals from the trading market, right? That's pretty obvious. And when you have new animal in your zoo and you want to assign it to a habitat, the vet or any other staff will just go grab it from the trade center and deliver it to the habitat. And then we can take a look at the workshop. Workshop is essential for mechanic research. You have to have a workshop if you want to do some mechanic research. Once again, it has capacity of 1 and all the stuff we already talked about. So when you put this down, you can assign your mechanic to do some research on the themes, on the new drink shops, souvenir shops, some better barriers and such stuff. And basically the same applies to the research center, which is the next facility we want to take a look at. Once again, it has capacity 1. I'm mixing up languages, right? So there, if you have a vet, you can assign it to research your animals, which we shall do, by the way. Once you buy a new animal, that's the first thing you should do, that you take your vet and you research the animal. If you do, you can get some enrichment items, you get better education for your guests, you can make some food enrichments, you unlock better food, and I think, yeah, here it is. The breeding research is very good, because if you research it, your animals will have better chance to get some babies from the mating, so that's also good. You get some fun facts. We can actually take a look. What do we have here? Prong or antelope? Where are those fun facts? I think it's in Zoopedia. Yes, research status. Fun fact, see, you can learn some fun facts about your animals. So that's also might be interesting to you. And last but not least, we get veterinary surgery. This is needed if, for example, your animals fight together for that alpha status. They might get hurt and they need to be taken by vet to a vet surgery to heal the injuries. And if you have any disease running rampant through your zoo because you don't have the water cleaner, for example, then you need a quarantine. It once again has some capacity, scenery rating and such stuff. I can actually show you what the scenery rating is about. So let's look at our new Keeper Hut Large. It has scenery rating 3%, negative area. Let's look at that. Oh, it's big. It's big, so we can just simply put some walls down around the facility. Okay, let's enter the group and go to constructions, walls. Let's just have the Arctic one, whatever, doesn't really matter. And we will put some walls around like this. Does it have windows? Yes, so let's use the windows. And I think last one. And then of course we need some roof, so let's stick to some corner. Do we have a corner? Yes, we have a corner. And then let's put some okay, let's have a look. Did we improve it? Yes, we did improve it to 7%, and we reduced the negative area by 4%. That's not really much. We can help it by putting some nature around. So let's use some rocks and some plants. Maybe we go with the temperate biome. I think this is pretty obvious. What am I trying to achieve here, right? And then let's grab some poplar tree, maybe. Yes, okay. That's not the best placement actually on the rocks. So one here and one there, and what about some arrow? Okay, I haven't placed that tree, bad me. So yeah, like this. And can I have that tree? Cypress tree is also good. So we will have like this. And then let's put some Dutchman breeches in front of the windows. Okay, now it should be way better. Let's have a look. 13%, maybe we can on pause so it can adjust. No, it doesn't help. Never mind, but you get the idea. We got the scenario rating 26% already. I think if you put some more planks and like the roof edges and such stuff around your facilities. And also I think you're supposed to have it, maybe we got some negative influence from the other buildings. I'm not sure how it works, but I think we improved that quite significantly already. So let's move on to the work zones maybe. Let me mention one more thing, and that's the power generator, the transformer, and the water treatment. Obviously, the water treatment you need if you have any water in your habitats. You run the risk that it gets dirty and then your animals will be diseased from it. So you definitely need a water treatment. For example, we have a water feature in here, so that's comes handy to have it. You don't need it to you could see the influence area, and you don't need it to cover all your water surface. All you need is to touch a little bit at least. The power, that's I think self-explanatory as well. Everything that needs power, such as education boards, staff facilities, shops, and so on, you need to provide power from them. So place your transformer and water facilities carefully. Now let's move on to the actual stuff. There are a bunch of stuff available to you. Caretakers go around your zoo and clear the mess that the guests do. The keepers obviously take care of your animals. I suggest you have one keeper for each habitat, and you have a work zones for that. So let's go to the work zones, and we're gonna create new work zone. Work zone for your habitat should include a habitat, a keeper hut, and a staff room. I suggest you have some naming convention in here, so you have pretty much idea what each work zone is about. So me, I like to call it H like an habitat, and this one is for hippo, so we're gonna call it H hippo. You could do this for all your habitats. And I just did, so you could see we have 4 habitats, so we have 4 work zones, one for each habitat. I will create one more work zone, and this time this will be for our veterinarian and for the mechanic. This work zone will have all the habitats in it. I suggest you have a work zone for your vet and mechanic for each 3 to 4 habitats. They can take more, but let's make sure they take care of every animal and every barrier in case of mechanic properly. For this work zone you want to include a staff room. You want to also include your research center and your workshop, so that your mechanics and veterinarians can do some research while they don't have any other work. For the mechanics, I also suggest you put in this workshop any facilities such as water treatment and transformators, and even you could do this for your exhibits, include them. Right now the exhibit is empty, so I'm not gonna put him in, but it needs to be taken care of as well. And I am going to actually name this VM, such as veterinarian and mechanic, and let's call it starter for habitats maybe. This means that this is a work zone for our starter for habitats. Alright, now we have work zones and we need to assign staff. So like I said, one keeper per one habitat. So this one is going to take care of hippo, this one is going to take care of aardvark, and we obviously run out of keepers, so we're gonna hire some more. 1 and 2. Welcome guys, welcome. I hope you will do a good job on the pronghorn and on the what it's called bonobo. And then the mechanic is going to work at the VM starter for habitat work zone, and our vet as well. Now I think we have it set up quite nicely. You can do some work zones for your vendors as well. Right now we have 3 vendors for 3 shops, so that's pretty fine, but usually one vendor cannot be full-time available. You could see that right now they are not here, just one, and that's because he is overworked and he's probably resting somewhere. Let's take a look. Yeah, high workload, energy nowhere, so we can do pretty much the same. We can create a work zone for our 2 vendor shops, so maybe we can do it. Let's call it when entrance. We will assign the shops, these 2 shops, and obviously a staff room is needed, and we can assign those vendors to it. So we got like 3 vendors, so this guy is going to work there, this guy, and we can hire one more, and we're gonna assign it to those shops as well. So right now we have 3 vendors for 2 shops, and that should create some sort of a rotation for them, so when one is exhausted, the another one takes the bullet and go to do some work. 3 vendors for 2 shops is good. You can have even more if you want to make sure that they are open all the time. Also, the toilets can break down, so make sure you include them into your mechanic work zones. You can have a split work zones for mechanics or veterinarians if you like to do so. If your zoo is getting bigger, it's not bad idea. So those are the work zones, and as you can see, we have our staff facilities placed very conveniently in the middle of our habitats, so that the staff has a very close proximity to go from the staff room to the vendor shop, to habitats, to the keeper's hut. So keep that in mind, that the placement is very important too. If we have any habitat on the other side of your zoo, but you only have one staff room near the entrance, that's going to be quite a long travel for your staff to go for a coffee. So you might want to repeat the staff room and the keeper hut setup from time to time as your zoo expands. And with that, I think we pretty much covered everything I wanted to tell you. When you are adding new habitat to your zoo, just remember to put down new keeper for your habitat and create new work zones so you have it very efficiently. And that's pretty much it for today. I think we should get rid of those protesters, so we still have a work to do in our tutorial zoo. So stick around and hit that subscribe button if you like what you saw, because next video is coming shortly, I think. Goodbye guys and girls.